The following program is a Nighthawk Network presentation.
What's going on, good people? Your boy E-Buck in the building. What's happening with everybody? It is the I Am Nighthawk pod show. I am your host on this particular show. That would be me, E-Buck. And this evening we are talking about a few things that we're going to get into. Some of them FYI, some of them conversations, some of them just informing you on some things that's going on. But nonetheless, hopefully all those you will find somewhat interesting to some degree. Shout out to everyone viewing tonight, either now, live, or later on down the line. Keep in mind, feel free to leave your comments. We don't answer them now. We will get back to them on the rebroadcast at some point. All right, good people, here we are. It is 2025, and to start off tonight's discussion, we have to have a discussion about something that's not good. Because here in this place we call United States of America, several things going on that's not good, unfortunately. We like to say that one of the things that makes this country great is the fact that we have freedom of speech and expression. Now, for the most part, that is true, but in some cases it is not, and by right it shouldn't be. But for the most part, should always be true. Now, right now, as we sit here, we have learned throughout the course of this week that a young man who felt differently about things and chose to speak out upon his viewpoints was taken from this life. Taken from this life because the person, at least from what we know at the moment, the person did not agree with his thoughts, and he in turn chose to deal with it the wrong way. Now, what I need people to understand is that if this is truly to be the great American melting pot, this America that we profess to be so great, we have to start looking at things from a different perspective. Okay, understand, as I come on this show, as I have for the better part of the last 2 years, and for the part of coming on this thing we call internet social media for the last 5+ years, I've expressed many opinions. Some of them you may have liked, some of them you may have not liked. And understanding that, I will always respect the right to your opinion. Hey, Ro, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in as always. We should always respect the rights to everyone's opinion, whether we like it, don't like it, can't stand to hate it or not. Because in the end, when all is said and done, if we want to express something, we in turn should feel like we have the right to do so. It is said so in the Constitution of the United States. We as a people, for the most part, tend to agree with that. Now, all that being said, here we are looking at the death of the young man who died during a rally at Utah, expressing his thoughts on various things going on in the world and across the country. Now, understand, I had very little knowledge of this person. I think I saw a sliver of him speaking at the Republican National Convention this year. But beyond that, did not know him, did not know his work, what he talked about, any of that. Now, of course, when he died, as people tend to do, they get to learning more about the person involved and what happened. And as I got to learn more his ideologies and whatnot, I must admit, was not a fan. Was not really a fan at all. But in the same token, the one thing I liked about the young man was the fact that he was willing to speak out. and he was willing to have these conversations with the people in his age bracket, his peers, so to speak, and have discussions about these things. Now, apparently, he would go across the country speaking at different functions and colleges and have these type of discussions. Now, of course, there were people who loved what he had to say, that agreed with a lot of what he had to say. And there are many people in the country, as they get to know him, agree with that. But then, of course, there were people that disagreed. Now, some of them, they did what they should have done. They used their words to express their disdain for what he had to say. Well, I don't agree with you, sir. I think you're wrong. This is why. These are the type of discussions we need to have to truly move forward, not only as a country, but as a world, where we sit down and talk about why we don't agree. And we come to some type of conclusions. We come to some type of agreements or agreements to disagree, whatever the case may be. We should never resort to violent acts to sequester and hold somebody's thoughts down. Okay? You know, there's a saying. That saying says that those who do not learn from their history are doomed to repeat it. And here we are in 2025 doing that very thing. Understand now in the last 12 months, we've had assassination attempts, some work such as last Tuesday, unfortunately. There's been attempts on the life of the current president. There have been attempts on the life of certain people in Congress and certain people in state government, including our governor, Gretchen Whitmer. You should not be in a position where you are doing things as a public servant to where you have to be concerned about your well-being because somebody disagrees with something you've done or said. Okay, it should never come down to, okay, where's my weapon of destruction? Let me unalive this person to make sure they don't do or say these things anymore. It should never, ever, ever come to that in these discussions, okay? Now, unfortunately, I'm not able to see any comments that might be made on Facebook right now. I can see anybody who comes on my YouTube page. That's Eric Buckner, Nighthawk Network Detroit. So if you want to join the actual comment discussion there, again, that's Eric Buckner, Nighthawk Network Detroit, and you can post your comments there. Now, I always say that any and all respectful comments are appreciated because, you know, sometimes people come on and they comment and they do it either basically to troll or basically cause a disruption in the conversation or talk. Even though I do not care for people that do that, again, I respect your right to do so. Because all in all, if I don't like what you have posted, I will just simply delete it. And if I feel like it's too offensive, what you have said, I have the right as a person on the media outlet to report it. Just like if you feel like I've done the same, you can. Now understand, that's why I choose my words carefully and try not to use too much profanity or obscene language so that you can have these discussions and it not be problematic or triggering to people to a greater degree. Some of the things we talk about are just going to trigger you anyway. This is why several people choose not to watch when I'm on the air, because I oftentimes talk about the things that you think of, that I think about while you're sleeping, and some of these things disturb you, and that's why you don't think about them. You just simply go to bed, and that's there. You wake up and you move forward. But we really got to start being more concerned about what's going on around us, people, because things are happening. Some of them happening so fast that if we don't pay attention, it's going to pass us by, and then we lost in the sauce because we are not prepared to contend with them. That is why this particular episode is entitled "Our Time Is Now," because for some of these things I'm talking about, we need to know about them now. We need to work on them now. We need to discuss them now before it's too late. Now, another disturbing pattern that's starting to happen again a few weeks into the school year are more school shootings. Why? All I can say is four things because we've had this discussion umpteenth time. So I at least got to try to introduce something new or something more thought provoking into the conversation. One, we know some of the shooters, as in the future shooters. We know them. They live among us. In some cases, they live with us. You start to see the patterns, people. If you go in Jimmy's room and Jimmy is watching videos of mass school shootings, and you grab Jimmy's tablet, okay, and look to see that Jimmy been watching these for months now, that's probably a telltale sign that you might want to have somebody sit down with Jimmy and have some discussion. If you go in Johnny's room and Johnny is starting to have a fascination with guns, long guns, suddenly all he wants for Christmas is a rifle with a scope, you might want to sit down and have a discussion with Johnny, okay? Now, understand the vast majority of the quote-unquote school shooters fit certain patterns, people. We know what those patterns are. They tend to be male. They tend to be people of a certain culture. And they tend to happen more times than not in inner cities, but in rural areas, okay? Where I don't know. It's something about that. We need to start looking into why that is the case, okay? We now know, as I've said before, about parts of the country that there are other circumstances we would never think about. We now know about Uvalde. We now know about Sunnyport. We now know about Oxford, Michigan. We know about what happened in Minnesota and Minneapolis. And I mean, it's just at some point, we got to understand that it didn't start out like this. When I went to school, one of the last things we ever was worried about was somebody coming in and shooting up the school. Because the moral ethics of it all was more than likely, yeah, if I'm going to shoot up anything, ain't going to be no kids. That'd be the last thing I would worry about. As kids, we didn't have the boldness to say, you know what, I'm going to bring me a weapon and I'm going to deal with this weapon. This stuff that we as kids did not think about. Didn't cross our minds. Never in a million years would that even be a discussion. At the worst, I'm going to bring my friends and we're going to beat somebody up, but not shoot up the school. And then it's a coward way because more times than not, you go into it with the thoughts that, yeah, I'm going to pick off as many people as I can get. And then when I get dealt with, I get dealt with because I don't care anymore. We don't want those things to happen. Even now, the person caught for doing the shooting of the young man in Utah is on 24-hour watch because he's already mentioned to people that, yeah, I just assume unalive myself. Because you have to deal with the consequences of your actions. And for the few of these school shooters who have lived to tell the story, more times than not, they don't have a story to tell, but they have shown the pattern of, yeah, I did it because I like how other people did it. I was fans of theirs. I wanted to do my special way, my way. That is not something you should ever want to be famous for, okay? In this society of gaining likes and things of that nature, we have truly gone too far. If that's what we doing to get clicks and likes, too far. Okay? The time to stop these things are now. Perhaps we need help from other countries and understand that, okay, these things aren't happening in other countries like this. At least if they are, they're not politicizing it and publicizing it. But for the most part, from what I know, it's not happening. Perhaps we need to go to some of them like, hey, what are you doing? Now, in the end, we know what they're doing because the reason why this is just a circular conversation right now is the two things we know we need to do. Well, three things, because we need to deal with mental health facilities a lot better than we do. But putting that one aside, One, we need better gun laws on the books. One where it's harder to get these weapons. One where when these weapons are gathered, we track them better, background checks, all of that. NRA and all their money and all the other gun lobbyists won't let that happen, okay? And two, I honestly feel like to some degree, some politicians feel like it's in their better interest to let these things go on. It kind of gives them a platform to come out and speak and give y'all a reason to be like, well, yeah, he cares or she cares. Let me keep voting for them, even though they really don't. And they probably taking the lobbyist money on the low the whole time. My personal opinion. These are the opinions of ebook, not those of people in my Nighthawk network. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay? But in the end, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, please don't kill me. I ain't trying to die. Some of these things I'm saying I feel deeply about, but not worth dying for. Talk to me. Don't unalive me. And that goes for anybody. It's some people out here in the political world I can't stand. Promise you that. But not one day has it crossed my mind to take their life. I wish death upon no individual. And you should not either. Use this. Not that. Okay? Not these. My thoughts. All right, that's that discussion. When we come back, the meat of tonight's discussion I want to talk about in the episode Our Time Is Now is that we should do it now. What is that? What is that we should do now? I'll talk about it after these words from a Nighthawk Network. Nighthawk Network, our voices for our people. Special shout out to Road to Stardom, who made the following promo commercial for us. Thank you, Road.
This is the story about an African-American woman who is passionate about professional wrestling and goes to countless events. She then, one day, gets the idea to start a wrestling talk podcast to talk about her favorite wrestlers and wrestling programs. She has a home podcasting room full of wrestling memorabilia that she uses to do the show, and every week you can tune in and join in the conversation.
In this world full of opinions, it is time you hear some of hers. Speaking Freely with Ms. Geigo Podcast. Find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as where other great podcasts are found.
What up, good people? What's going on? Check this out. Let me remove myself. All right, did y'all see that? That is the set for the topic of our big discussion this evening. Our time is now. Because, good people, I want to discuss with you what I think we should do now to make things a little better for us a little down the line financially, okay? Here's the situation. Right now, we live in a country where the economy is still not doing well. Stuff is mad expensive. And now we have to concern ourselves with this thing called tariff, which basically is a fancy word for tax. We already had that discussion of what tariff is and how that works. Bottom line is they tax the people that bring the goods into our country. They in turn tax us for getting taxed. And then the people that sell the stuff tax us some more. to get the money to recuperate what they got taxed. Okay, it's a big old circle of monetary nonsense. Long story short, a lot of the items and goods we are used to getting are costing more and more money every single day. Now, in the end, tariff may just be a convenient excuse, or it may just be okay that. Now, several of the buyers and sellers are saying, okay, we're doing our best to not pass on the cost to you, but you know it's a lie. You know that's a lie. Remember, corporate model is to make as much money as possible throughout the years. The more money they make, the more money you pay the CEOs, more bonuses they get, the more they want us to make more money. Okay? Y'all know the vicious cycle by now. But bottom line, we are basic consumer A, B, C, and D I'm talking to. We know what it is. Right now, in the corporate offices of the Walmarts and Targets and Krogers and such of the world, they are plotting. They are plotting because they know their favorite time of the calendar year is coming, the holidays. Holidays are coming, and they ready to incorporate their plan to get more and more of your hard-earned money. We know this to be the case because you can go in a place like Target and Walmart right now, and they already have up sales advertisements and hours of stuff for that thing called Halloween, okay? In terms of the holidays and what we spend the most money on, number 2 is Mother's Day, okay? All the other big ones come in October, November, and December. You know what they are. That's good old Halloween, thanks to the giving, and Christmas. Okay? Them 3. That's when a lot of these places make a lot of their money. All right? Today is September 14th, which means that you have about 3 months and 10 days till Christmas. Now, for some of you, that brings on a great anxiety because you are determined to spend your money and do it in a way to show that you care about the people you love by buying them Christmas presents and such. Or you care so that you need to make the biggest, most powerful display of food and cooking possible on Thanksgiving. Or you care because you love you some Halloween and you got to show the kids a good time with the scary and the spooky and the candy and such, okay? That is your thought process. So you already think, okay, I do this, this, and this. If that is the case, then let's sit down and think about it rationally. Let's whip out our paper and pen and say to ourselves, okay, this is what I want to do for these 3 holidays. Okay? So yeah, even though October ain't even here yet, since they already planning on what they want you to do with your money, you might as well plan on what you need to do with your money. Remember, we live in a country that is in the biggest debt of any country on planet Earth. Okay? We as a people, not we as a country, this we as individuals, individual debt is over $1 trillion plus dollars. Okay? The vast majority of Americans are in some type of financial debt right now. That time is now. Okay? Lord, no, my credit score is in a bad, bad place right now, okay? If yours is not good on you, keep it that way. If yours is where I'm at or worse, we got to start making some very important decisions. And this is one of them. What to do about the holidays. So let's talk about it, okay? Let's have this discussion. Now, first of all, how important is Halloween to you? Me, myself, have not celebrated Halloween in my adult life, okay? Yes, I actually like one of my favorite things to do on the day of Halloween or day after to see all the children and what they dressed up as, all the adults and what they dressed up as. I like the dressing up part of it. It's cool. Though you have to understand why Halloween came to be and why people dressed up, okay? If you are a bit of a religious person or a lot of a religious person, You might want to have that understanding and then determine if you really want to do Halloween, okay? That is part of why we stopped doing it here at my household. But all in all, like I said, I like the fun aspect of it, and I don't begrudge anybody who's doing so, okay? Have your fun. Do your thing. Dress up. Every year in my mind, I think, okay, what would I be this year if I did Halloween? More times than not, it's some type of superhero. Because as a child, when I did celebrate Halloween, that's more times than not what I wanted to be, some type of superhero. Now, you know where to find most of this stuff. Unfortunately, places like Party City have shut down for good. Toys R Us is no longer with us at the moment. They talking about bringing it back at some point. Might be in a couple places, I don't know. But anyway, more than likely, you are looking at some type of costume place. You're looking at your Targets, your Myers, your Walmarts, Piggly Wiggly, wherever they sell those types of things. Trust me, most of these places already have stuff for you to look at. Of course, if that does not suit, then of course you can always go to your trusty dusty telephone where you can look on that beautiful app known as Amazon. Who basically, if you type in Halloween costumes, you probably could be on there from now to the end of the week, 24 hours straight, 7 days a week, and would not even see all the stuff that they have available to you, okay? Or if you're a Temu or a Sheen person, Fashion Up, all those places have costumes. Even if you want to go to the naughty store, they got naughty costumes, all right? And the thing you need to understand is that if you're doing that, get it now. You should do it now because you know as you get closer to the holiday, demand and such will spike things up. Not to mention the fact that they're talking about the tariffs starting to take effect. So what might be $20 today, maybe $40 3-4 weeks from now. So if you already have pre-thought what you want to do, make that move now. Grab it now. Okay? It ain't like you're gonna gain a huge amount of weight in the next 6 weeks or so. Or in some cases, it don't matter because it's that type of costume. So it don't matter if you gain the weight or not. Grab it now. Here's another thing. If you got a costume and you used it before, so yeah, I know. You want last year's costume on. You po. Man, please. You like being Superman last? You want to be Superman again? You be Superman. Superman movie came out. It makes sense. If you wanted to be Black Panther and you got the Black Panther mask and it was sweet, wear it again. If anything else, just throw some accessories with it. Be ghetto Black Panther. Black Panther with a suit on. Just utilize your brain. Okay? Use your melon. Make it your own. Do it that way. But in the end, save the money. Save that money. Spend it on something more important, like eating or paying the bill. Okay? You still can have fun. Because I promise you, just like I wear my clothes and keep wearing my clothes, I can't wear them no more. I would do that for anything like that I would get. Because, hell, I ain't wasting my money like that. These are the things I'm talking about, okay? Thanksgiving is coming. All right, let's talk about that for a minute. We know Thanksgiving coming. For some families, y'all eat the same thing every freaking year. And you know it. Because you know some people, they going to request that. Well, I can't wait to get Aunt so-and-so's mac and cheese. Or I can't wait to get Grandma's potato salad. Or I can't wait. Some of those things, okay. Granted, it's September 14th. That's about 2 months or so away. Some of that stuff, you're going to have to wait till you get a little closer. It being food. And some of that being perishable items, but some of that stuff you can grab right now. Like, let's see. Like the noodles and stuff for the macaroni and cheese, for example. The expiration date on that should last past Halloween. Thanksgiving if you get it now. Grab some of that stuff. You may be able to get some of your cheese now. Cheese might last a few months. I do believe they should last up until that point. Anything that you can free, hell, the turkey. The turkey, okay? You can grab that turkey right now, and it could be in the freezer for a good couple months to be straight, because I promise you, Some of them Thanksgiving turkeys you getting, they already in somebody's freezer at the facility right now, waiting to ship them off to the mines or whatever and give them to you. They've been sitting there for a minute already. So yeah, you already know the price of turkey go up around that time. Grab that turkey now, or the chicken, the frozen chicken, grab that now. It will definitely last in your freezer, especially if you got that good deep freezer, for a couple months until you need that boy. Grab some of those items now. All the little in-between stuff, like the forks and napkins and all that, grab that now. Why not? And you ain't got to be fancy. Start using your brain to say, okay, where can I cut some of this cost? If the plates and forks and napkins is that, then hell, you better go to the Family Dollar or Family Dollar General or whatever and grab some of that stuff and get it for the low. Makes sense to me. Five Below, all those types of places. Grab some of that stuff right now, okay? And as we get closer, the sooner you can grab it and it still could be viable options, do that. Because you already know it's horrible to wait to that last minute to go to that store the day before Thanksgiving and try to get all this stuff. That's a lot to be dealing with. And every year, some of us play that game relentlessly, faithfully. When truthfully, some of that you could already have situated, okay? Some of y'all cook the stuff days ahead of time. Why not purchase food weeks and stuff ahead of time if you can? Makes sense to me. And then, of course, the big one, Young Christmas, okay? Now, granted, you may not know what your kids need or want for Christmas at this moment, but there's ways to figure that out. I mean, the obvious one is like, look, I need to know right now what you want for Christmas. You got a day to tell me. Now, some of the kids will be like, boom, 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 because they already know. You know what the popular items going to be off rip in 2025. They don't have one of these, they want one of these. If they got one of these, they want the new one, okay? Reason why the iPhones usually come out a month or two before Christmas. That is why. They got a PS5, then they want some games. If they don't have a PS5, they want a PS5. Whatever the new thing is, the what is that, the Labubu's or whatever, they gonna want that. If you don't know what the most popular trends is, it's easy to find out. You go to TikTok, hit trending. You got, hell, go to IG, hit trending. That should give you some ideology of what people gonna want. And if you can set yourself up to get it ahead of time before the crowd to say, oh yeah, that is what everybody wants. Because right now, to the Best Buy near my house, it's like 12 actual PS5 sitting right there in the front, okay? By the time we get to November, it's going to be about 2 or 3 of them. All right? We already know what that is. And they probably going to be up another $50, $75. Grab it now. You know you need a TV. The best time to buy a TV, they tell you, is this time of year. Because once we get around October or something, the price is going up. You know that. In terms of getting stuff, this is the best time to get it because Amazon ain't busy like that right now. It's that time of year. They setting up to get busy. So it's best to get your stuff now from Amazon. It's best to get your stuff now from Temu before the prices go up some more because of the tariffs. Or Shein, or Alibaba, whatever you use. Grab that stuff now. But here's one thing I do want you to think about with that whole Christmas thing. Are they worthy? That's the one thing I would think about with every individual on my Christmas list. Are they worthy of what I'm trying to get them or what I think I want to get them? Because in the end, we live this life once, all right? And if we figure out, yeah, I done spent this money on such and such, and they don't even appreciate it. Or I done spent this money on this child, and this child bringing home the worst grades possible. Why spend this money? Have that long thought process with yourself before you even get to any of that. And if you figure that out, by all means. So we just talked about Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween. Okay. New Year's, if you do stuff for New Year's, same thing. Save yourself some money. Try to get those things together now. The time is now. So that couple months from now, when they're a little bit more expensive and you try to get them, and then you look back and your debts is even more so, remember E-Buck, Uncle E told you these things. I should have listened. Get them now. Right now. All right, that's that discussion. We're talking about it. It's for you to decide, all right? When we come back, my next topic for discussion is beware. Lord knows, seem like every day people sit up here and think of ways to scam us. This ain't a new thing, but it's definitely something you should know, especially since we get into the holidays, and this may be an issue. So when we come back, this is a FYI person beware update, okay? I am Nighthawk. We will be back. Y'all know that, remember? Y'all remember? When they was like, after these messages, we'll be right back.
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my tea-sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comforts together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing darlings. With Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling.
He talks sports his way. It's the guru's perspective. Hey, this is your boy E-Buck. And if you're looking for some great desserts, something sweet, something to treat yourself with, please check out my girl Caramel Sweets here in the Metro Detroit area. She can make desserts for your function, your event, or just for that special someone you want to give something nice to. So check her out. It's Caramel Sweets. You can find her on Facebook and Instagram. We appreciate you. What up, y'all? We back. This is the I Am Nighthawk Pod Show. I'm your host, E-Buck, the Nighthawk, and we are talking stuff. Y'all see them caramel sweets? They look pretty good, don't they? I definitely am going to have Miss Carrie Strong make me something for my birthday. Shout out to you, Carrie, and Caramel Sweets. Hopefully, y'all getting it in. I want to see what we could come up with for my birthday. Something nice and tasty. Anyway, back to the show. This is what I'm entitled as People Beware. There are scams out here. They are constantly sitting down, making them, plotting on us. It's a bad do. Check this one out.
If you have a debit card or you use the ATM, you need to know about this right now.
The cash didn't come out.
They were the unsuspecting victims of cash trapping.
And I thought that this was only in the United States, but someone recently saw this in London.
It's the cash. Why is the cash not coming? Go like that, you put the key in, and we just twist it, and we're like, oh, there's our cash. But then it's stuck to this.
It's called cash trapping. Police say it happened twice at the Bank of America on Preston Road.
Maria Guerrero shows us how cash trapping works.
Here's how it works. The machine, there you go, the sound that it's working. But in cash trapping,
I just got stolen from. It was just a horrible feeling, just a lot of money.
In this video, I'm going to show you all how some ATMs may have set these traps to take your money. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you all how to spot a cash trap device, what to do if you see one, what if your cash gets stuck, some extra safety tips, and also why this scam works so well. Let's get started right now. If you want to stay updated on things like this, subscribe to the channel today.
An international fugitive wanted for financial crimes across the world finally met his match here in North Texas. Authorities caught up with a Romanian man last week near Houston. They say he was targeting customers at bank cash machines in both Louisville and Plano. Maria Guerrero shows us how cash trapping works.
I mean, it looks just like a part of the ATM. And I just thought it was going to be a door that was going to pop up and get me the money.
Jonathan Hoag's $700 withdrawal wasn't stuck in a faulty ATM machine.
I was just totally perplexed. I didn't know what to think was happening.
Ray McCormick's $100 wasn't caught in a broken cash machine either.
The cash didn't come out.
They were the unsuspecting victims of cash trapping.
I just got stolen from. It was just a horrible feeling, just a lot of money.
Yeah, I was doing forgery investigations for 32 years, and this is a new one for us.
Here's how it works. We're pulling up to this ATM. Everything looks normal. The victim will come and get cash. The machine, there you go, the sound that it's working. But in cash trapping, nothing happens right here. Okay, so instead of getting your money like this, as normal, cash trapping, nothing happens. See, crooks put in a device that catches your cash.
Devices that they're using fits perfectly over the dispenser mechanism of the ATM machine. It has a special tool that is handmade by the perpetrator to remove the device.
Plano's theft happened in July at this Bank of America at Parker and Preston in Plano.
That this individual was waiting for the person to leave, and then as soon as they left, he would come take the device off, take the cash out.
Fortunately, Hoag snapped a picture and filed a police report, leading to a multi-agency investigation and the arrest of the alleged culprit and two others last week in the Houston area where he was living. Ionut Iova, a Romanian national, is also wanted by Hungarian authorities and police in Canada, with one alleged cash-trapping fraudster himself finally trapped. Authorities urge continued vigilance.
It's crazy to see how far people will go just to steal your money. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, that was just in Texas. Check this out.
Police in Prince George's County are issuing a warning to ATM users after finding suspicious devices at two banks.
Show you new photos from Greenbelt Police that show metal plates placed over the cash slots. It's a new crime called cash trapping.
Yeah, Simone, we've warned people about bank jugging, also card skimming, and now we might be looking at a new type of crime, like you mentioned it. It's called cash trapping. Now, Greenbelt Police tells us that a person using an ATM at this Bank of America here warned them about a suspicious device just this Saturday. Alicia Hernandez says she's surprised to see that thieves have figured out another way to steal people's hard-earned cash.
It's so bad. It's so bad because area is so people working hard.
Greenbelt Police say that it was a concerned resident who notified them that there was a device blocking the money slot at the ATM on Ora Glen Court.
So officers went out there and they found it, and they were able to remove the device. After they saw that, they went out to the other banks in the area and just wanted to be proactive and do a search of all the other ATMs that were around to make sure those devices weren't anyplace else.
But there was. Police removed a second device from the Capital One Bank ATM on Greenbelt Road. Law enforcement officials call this cash trapping. The plates are adhered over the money slot, essentially trapping the money as it comes out. In the photos provided by Greenbelt Police, you can see a $20 bill attached to one of the cash traps.
Based on the way the device was set up, we weren't sure if that device was there to actually trap the money or capture the money, or if it was there set up as a distraction so that some other crimes could be committed down the road.
ATM users say it's a wake-up call to be more aware.
Salem police say a Lawrence man sabotaged an ATM at the Marblehead Bank on Canal Street. Officers say Henry...
All right, I think y'all get the gist of what's going on with that. People are thinking of the wildest and craziest stuff to do in order to get over on us, okay? So what they're basically saying is if you go to your ATM and try to get the money out and the money does not come out, it is probably one of these devices that is causing that to happen. And as you saw, what it is there's a plate that looks very similar to the opening of the ATM, that they are snapping on that opening so that when you attempt to get the money, nothing comes out. Now, sometimes you might be fortunate enough to kind of wedge it up a little bit to get the money out, but more times than not, it will get stuck on that double sticky tape, and all the other money that's supposed to come out will come out, but it's hitting that, so you're not getting anything. Now, the problem that happens is that when you go to your bank to say that, yeah, I went to the ATM and they didn't give me no money, the bank will pull up the record and it's going to show, well, Mr. So-and-so, it shows that at 11:39 p.m., you put in your password, the one that only you should know, and you went and got $100-something, and $100-something came out of your account and went through the machine. It will show all that because all that actually happened. However, you didn't get any money. So the bank's gonna be like, well, I don't know about all that. It sounds like you're trying to get over on us. So they may be like, yeah, you're not getting no money. It sounds like you're trying to scam us. Okay, and if you have no way to prove otherwise outside of that, it's hard. So more times than not, you're not getting your money back. Okay, especially if somebody comes along later on at said ATM, takes the device off, and your money with it. Okay? Now, granted, they have cameras, and that's how they caught that one individual, but I'm sure people have watched this video and said, okay, well, I can do that, but I'm going to do it smarter. I'm going to go at night, and I'm going to put on a shiesty mask, and they ain't going to be able to tell it's me, and so on and so forth. Because that's how the criminal element think. I mean, apparently that's how I think. I just thought of that myself. Damn. But I wouldn't do no mess like that. Bad karma, people. Stuff like that is bad karma. But anyway, good people, here's how you work around that if possible. They suggest that first of all, you go to an ATM on the inside of some place, okay? Don't do the outdoor ATMs, especially the ones that are not bank affiliated. This ATM out in the blue to give you money. Try not to use those. Try to go to your bank ATM and preferably your bank ATM on the inside. Because you real bold if you try to put one of them devices on an ATM on the inside of a bank. With all those cameras they have in the bank, if you get away with that, it's definitely an inside job to some degree, okay? But anyway, you go to those ATMs and get your money out. That way, even if the money don't come out at that moment, you be like, yeah, bank person, my money not coming out. You see this? You see that? My car's still in. There it is. I need my money. Or like, okay, look, you see I tried to get it out. If not, go look on that camera up there. I was there, and I put in the card, and you see that nothing come out. What's up? Can I get my money? Can I get my ends? Okay? Run that. That part. Or you basically go to wherever you go and it's an indoor place and they could basically see that, look, you standing right there. You see I tried to get my money out. It didn't come out. Something ain't right. So at that point, they either figure out, okay, oh yeah, this is the problem. This ain't supposed to be on here. Or okay, yeah, this on here. Check this out. You know, we gonna get your money back. Give us a minute because we need to figure out who's doing this. And then they wait for that person to come along like, yeah, let's see what I came up on today. Oh, I got a few $100s. Wait a minute. Oh, they got me. They got me. And they should, you thieving bastard. So anyway, scams is out there, y'all. Especially as we get closer to the holidays. They really look to set you up in all types of ways. That is one of them. Shout out to the persons that provided that video. Let me look that up right quick for y'all. Hold on. That video comes courtesy of. Oh, no. They're not it. Stand by. I do not recall now. Wait a minute. I will find it. Give me a sec. I'm going. All right, there we go. It is courtesy of 850 Club Credit. That's 850 Club Credit. You can find them on YouTube. I think you can find them on TikTok as well. Go to 850 Club Credit. They have a variety of different scams and stuff that they talk about that people are doing, and they are informing the public about it. Thank you, 850 Credit, for doing that for people. That is a good service and good use of your social media. Okay. Got one more subject for y'all. Had a couple more, but y'all try to keep it within an hour or so. We'll get to it next time. But again, we are using this season in particular to talk about AI and things of that nature and how you can use it to create stuff. As you see, I've been creating much content on my social media. My good friend Road has as well. You can check out her show, The Indie Experience, on Tuesday, 9:45 or so. We talk about those types of things. But anyway, we're going to have a discussion about the future of AI, because it is growing and you are learning, and it is learning things faster than you ever probably thought possible. So with the use of AI, man, I have created yet another AI part of the podcast where we had those discussions. As before, we are using celebrity voice impersonations, okay? These are celebrity voice impersonations, not the real people, not meant to trick you into that being of the real people, okay? Understand, I'm always going to tell you that. Everybody not, all right? Some of these AI deep fakes, as they call them, they are very, very real. Much as what you are about to hear sounds very real. This is a discussion on the future of AI featuring celebrity voice impersonations.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our podcast. Today we have an exciting topic to dive into AI in our everyday lives. I'm thrilled to have you both here. How's it going? What are your thoughts on this topic? I'm curious to hear.
Great to be here. I think AI is rapidly becoming a part of our daily routines, and I can't wait to discuss its potential.
Absolutely. I'm excited too. It feels like we're on the brink of something huge with AI.
Right? So, let's kick things off. How do you see AI currently influencing our daily activities?
Well, think about it. Everything from virtual assistants like Siri to smart home devices, AI is making life smoother and more efficient.
Exactly. And it's not just about convenience. AI is helping us make better decisions, like through personalized recommendations on platforms.
That's a good point. But do you think there are limits to how much AI should be integrated into our lives?
Definitely. While AI can enhance our productivity, it's important to maintain a human touch in areas like healthcare and education.
For sure. I mean, AI can assist doctors, but ultimately human empathy is irreplaceable.
Great insight. Speaking of healthcare, what other sectors do you think will see significant AI advancements?
Finance is a big one. AI is already used for fraud detection and personalized banking services.
And let's not forget transportation. Self-driving cars are on the horizon, which could change how we commute.
Self-driving cars are fascinating. But what about the ethical implications? How do we navigate those?
That's a tricky area. We need clear regulations and ethical guidelines to ensure safety and fairness.
And public trust is crucial too. People need to feel secure about AI technologies.
For sure. So what do you think the future holds for AI in our daily lives? Any predictions?
I believe we'll see more seamless integration AI. We'll become almost invisible, enhancing our experiences without us even noticing.
I agree. And I think as AI becomes more advanced, it will help us solve complex problems like climate change.
That's inspiring. It sounds like the future of AI is bright. Let's wrap up with final thoughts.
AI is fascinating and full of potential, but we need to approach it thoughtfully.
Absolutely. Balancing innovation with ethics will be key to a brighter future with AI.
Thanks for sharing your insights today. I can't wait to see how this unfolds. Until next time, everyone.
All right, good people, that was an AI-generated discussion about the future of AI with generated voices of Chef Gordon Ramsay, Oprah Winfrey, and our former First Lady, Michelle Obama. Again, these were not those three individuals actually having that discussion. Those were AI-generated voice versions of them having a discussion about the future of AI. Now, granted, the way the discussion made was artificial, but what they talked about is very real. Consider this. Pretty much within the next 5 years, everything of some type of electronic device more than likely will have some type of AI integration woven in it, including all the new phones, all the new computers, all the new tablets, so on and so forth. They are already in many provinces in China and Japan teaching the youngest of young people about AI and how to use it. It is a required learning for them. It needs to be the same here immediately. Immediately. Otherwise, our foreign counterparts will be so more advanced and far ahead of us that when things happen, we will be forced to contend with the few people around us that may know, okay? For those of you who are older like myself, I understand these things, they are intimidating to think about and to learn. I am in process of helping certain people learn these things now, and I see the frustration on their face and how they just don't get certain things. They try to incorporate these things to where it makes sense and it's easy to use for all. That is the thought process, at least at the moment, okay? Because in the end, think about it, most of your places where you work, if they have not already incorporated artificial intelligence into the workplace, they soon will. They say by 2050, a third of probably all jobs will have some type of AI type usage to where you may not be necessary or less necessary. I think there will always be a need for humans to do certain things because AI just ain't going to get it to that degree. For example, I am a cook, as we well know. Yeah, they have things, they have robots that can cook, but they can't make it taste like somebody professional who has cooked these things time and time again can do, and add and subtract and such and put that human touch on it, okay? There is AI music even that we can make and can sound pretty good. Let me give you a quick example. Here's one of the songs that I worked on for my AI generated album, which will be at least loosely titled at this point, The Streets of Oblivica. This song is called Cuddle Up Remix. Here's a little taste of it. Facebook, this is my music. I created it. Tag me.
I worked so hard today, I'm ready to unwind. Time to go home and settle down with my lady. Oh, she's so fine. Don't wanna run those streets, don't need to be with no one else. Just take a shower, lay next to you, and let's do the things all lovers do.
This is a little taste. I ain't gonna get the whole thing, you know. Somewhere down the line, all that will become available to you after I copyright and all that good stuff. But anyway, that is a song that was created by AI. All right, not a real singer, not a real person singing it. Real words, mind you, my words, my lyrics. But that person came up with it, and AI created the melody and the beat and all of that. And that very much sounds like something you would hear on a radio station, like perhaps Nighthawk Network Radio, which hopefully we will have back up sometime this week, according to my financials. We shall see. But yeah, AI is here. It ain't going nowhere. It's not. We're not gonna come to a point where it's like, okay, yeah, this is not happening. We about to erase this and stop using AI. Period. Too late for that now. Pandora's box is open, and it's open wide, and here comes AI out for everyone. So my suggestion is learn to use it, learn about it. If you have any questions that I can help you with, you can hit me up on my social media, and I can tell you some of the stuff that I'm doing. In fact, I think in a couple of weeks we'll talk about how I made that song, perhaps go through a step-by-step tutorial thereof. But in the meanwhile, you can go on the Google app, as in your Google search, or maybe Safari, either or, and type in AI, and all these different types of AI will come up. And a lot of them you can just basically try for free because they want you to kind of get familiarized with it. And then if you get to liking it, then they usually have some paid subscriptions for you. Only have one paid AI subscription at the moment, very affordable one, but it's a couple more that I'm looking into. A lot of stuff you could do with it: make pictures, do music, do video, make logos, so on and so forth. Check them out, okay? Galaxy AI is another one I would suggest because it has a lot of different types of AI, and they have a lot of free that you can use in that as well. But anyway, this is I Am Nighthawk Podcast. We're about to call it a night. I'm tired and sleepy. I gotta get back on the grind tomorrow. We'll be back in a week or two to discuss more with you about AI and other things of that nature. Remember what I said. Bad now. Start doing it now. And remember, nobody should be dying for how they feel and what they think. You don't like it, just don't listen. Period. I'm out, y'all. Deuces.